It's 2 in the morning and your brain just called an emergency meeting. Nobody asked for this. Nobody scheduled it. But here you are. Same thought, third lap. Maybe fourth. You've already told yourself to stop. That made it worse. And the strangest part is that it doesn't feel like anxiety. It feels like clarity. Like your brain finally has the quiet to think straight. Like you're seeing things as they really are without the noise of the day getting in the way. That feeling is the lie. Not the fear itself, but the certainty that the fear is accurate. You know what 2 a.m. actually feels like? The thought arrives and you engage it, because ignoring it seems irresponsible. So you turn it over. You run the scenario forward. You rehearse a conversation that may never occur. You do math on a future that may never arrive. And the whole time, some part of you believes this is productive. That you're being thorough, responsible. That the person who goes back to sleep without solving this is the one who's not taking it seriously enough. You're not being thorough, you're being stuck. And the brain that's telling you otherwise is the same brain that's been running at reduced capacity since around midnight. My old roommate Ray spent 3 years doing exactly this. Not the same problem every night, but the same session. We'll come back to him. I'm not going to give you a breathing exercise or a meditation prompt. What I'm going to give you is an honest explanation of why the middle of the night is a uniquely broken time to assess anything, and what Scripture says about the dark that the self-help space is never going to tell you. Start here. Your brain at that time is not your brain at its best. It's not even close. Cortisol, the hormone that helps regulate alertness and threat assessment, is at its daily low in the middle of the night. The prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for realistic evaluation, for putting things in proportion, for distinguishing an actual emergency from a bad feeling, is running at reduced capacity. The amygdala, the part that generates fear signals, is less regulated. So what you get is fear without calibration, urgency without accuracy, certainty without the equipment to actually verify anything. The overthinking loop presents itself as problem solving, but it isn't. It's a broken system generating outputs and then convincing you those outputs are reliable. Your brain is doing 3 things simultaneously at 2 a.m. Producing the fear, producing the certainty that the fear is correct, and producing the urgency that you must resolve it right now. All 3 of those are compromised. David knew something about actual threat, real enemies, genuine danger, not the imagined kind. And Psalm 4:8 is what he landed on. In peace I will lie down and sleep, for you alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety. Not a technique, a posture. When you're laying there awake, it feels like God's offline. The silence doesn't feel neutral. It feels like evidence. Like the prayers that have gone up and come back without an answer are finally being confirmed. Like the thing you've been afraid to say out loud, that maybe you're on your own in this, is getting its moment to feel true. It's embarrassing. It sounds like doubt. Admitting that God feels absent feels like a confession instead of just a Tuesday night. Psalm 121 verses 3 and 4. He will not let your foot slip. He who watches over you will not slumber. Indeed, he who watches over Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. Are you hearing the specificity of that? This isn't a general statement about God being powerful. It's a statement about what is happening right now, tonight, while you're lying there. The keeper of Israel is awake, alert, watching what you can't see from where you're lying. The silence isn't the same thing as absence. The dark is not where God goes when he's less available, because the noise is finally gone. And the version of you that's too busy to be still is finally still. You don't have to feel that to let it be true. That 2 a.m. verdict on your life is not the final verdict. Whatever the brain is generating right now about your relationships, your future, your choices, your worth, it is not a reliable assessment. Not because your problems aren't real. Some of them are real. But because the instrument you're using to evaluate them is operating in the dark with the calibration turned off. You've lain awake certain that something was unfixable and then watched a morning quietly disagree. Not always by solving the problem. Sometimes the problem was still there. But the reading changed. The proportions changed. The certainty that it was unsolvable, that it was the end of something, that there was no version of tomorrow that wasn't broken. That part didn't survive the night. Lamentations 3:22 and 23. Jeremiah wrote this in the actual wreckage of Jerusalem. City gone, temple gone, people scattered. This is not a comfortable life verse. Because of the Lord's great love we are not consumed, for his compassions never fail. They are new every morning. New every morning, not new every night. The reset isn't at midnight, it's at dawn. The nigh reading expires. Something else comes with the light. You don't need to solve this tonight. You need to survive tonight. Your brain keeps trying to give you that first assignment, when all that's actually being asked of you is the second. Ray, the roommate I mentioned, he spent 3 years going through this. It wasn't the same problem every night, but it was the same general experience. He'd wake up in the middle of the night for whatever reason. The thought would arrive, and he'd engage it. Sometimes he'd spend an hour or two working through the worst versions, and then by morning the urgency would be gone. And I'd just see the frustrated, unrested, double espresso version of him. He never had the conversation he rehearsed. Nothing went wrong the way he'd mapped it. He just lost 3 years of sleep to problems the morning, quietly retired without his help. He told me something worth repeating. He said, "I finally figured out that the 2 a.m. version of me is not the smartest version of me. He's the most scared version of me, and I'd been letting him make all the calls. That overnight version of you is not in charge. He feels like he is, but he's not, and you don't have to pretend otherwise. When the loop starts, the move is, this might be real, and I'll look at it in the morning. Write it down if that helps. Tell it to wait. And remember that the keeper who doesn't sleep is already watching what you can't see from where you're lying. Your fears at 2 a.m. may be real, but that's not when you can see them clearly. The morning doesn't always fix the problem. It gives you back the equipment to face it. If the 2 a.m. spiral is where you live, you might also recognize something else. The anxiety that runs in the background all day, not just at night. We already have a video that breaks that down. Check it out here.